Okay, this is Paul Lancaster from the Sage One team, and today I'm joined with Sway. Sway, do you
Uh,
just want to introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do for anyone that isn't aware of that?
sure. I, I go by the name of Sway. I'm a rapper slash producer slash I run my own label slash anything else that's gonna push me and my team forward. Yeah, I mean anything legal. Um, and like I've been rapping for a while. I've been producing for a while. I'm on my third album. I've released loads. I've collaborated with loads of people from UB40 to Romero to Akon to Kaiser Chiefs, Mark Ronson, uh, you name it, man. Wretch 32, and it's been a great roller coaster journey for me, and it's progressing and it continues to progress. So that's it in
Cool,
a nutshell, really.
cool. Because we kind of started talking via Twitter, and when I saw that you'd
Yeah.
replied to one of my tweets or retweeted one of my tweets, straight away I recognized the name, and I was
Hmm.
like, Sway, I know who that is. And then checked out your
Yeah.
website and watched your videos. I was like, wow, Sway. So even though I wasn't
Yeah.
totally familiar with your music, um, I'd heard the name
Yeah.
and I'd seen you on magazine covers and all kinds of stuff like that. And I'm happy to say, obviously, the more I listen to your music, the more I love it. You know, I love the sort of sound that you're doing. And one of the things that I like the
Amazing.
most about what you do is the diversity of the type of music that you do as well. It's not just one particular style. You know, you've got your kind of
Hmm.
maybe more traditional sounding rap and hip hop, and
Hip
then
hop. Yeah. Yeah.
you've got quite a big room club sound as well. You know, where you're doing some real dance floor smashes. So
Hmm.
is that something deliberate that you do, or is it just you've got a wide range of
Yeah.
musical tastes?
Yeah. Uh, I have a very, very wide range of musical tastes. I mean, I listen to everything from Dizzy Rascal to Krista Berg. You know what I mean? Like I've just like music for me is just like the way I've always created music in my own brain is just as a waveform of sounds coming at you. You know what I mean? So when you put things into genres, I understand why we got to do that because it makes things easy to identify. It's like if I'm working a shoe shop and I'm looking for a size in trainers, I don't want to say, bring me the shoes, they're going to be there forever. I've got to say, bring me the Nike size 10 black with the yellow tick. You know what I mean? I've got to be specific in order to get what I want. So I do understand, but I don't live in a genre. But it doesn't stop me from trying on other styles of clothing and not ladies, obviously. You know what I mean? But it doesn't stop me from trying on other forms of clothing and engulfing myself in different forms of music culture. So I mean, that's not the reason why I had the name, but it's kind of like it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy in it. It's like you call yourself Suede and you're able to go from this side to that side and do it seamlessly. Yeah, I mean, it kind of all worked out for me really. So
Is that why you've
yeah,
been doing it
yeah.
for so long? Because you've been able to move from one genre to another, and you're not stuck in one
M-
particular way.
Maybe now the hip hop community definitely know who Sway is, but now the dance community is starting to know who Sway is. The pop community is starting to know who Sway is, and it's more of a slow burner, which has probably kept me relevant for a longer time. It's a blessing to be able to not oversaturate yourself, but still be respected and still be considered as a front runner in your field. You know what I mean, for such a long period of time, and I think that comes from keeping an open mind, understanding that times change, not working in an old-fashioned manner, keeping up with new technologies, and also just keeping a general open mind to other talents and other people out there that you can support and who can support you. It's all about growth and connection. I mean, obviously, how I met you because you were being followed by people who I was following. So then I clicked on to read your tweets. What's this guy all about? You know what I mean? You got to keep your mind open to what people are doing. And now we're sat here having a conversation about how we could potentially be working with each other. You've got to do that not just in the field of music, but outside of the field of music as well, just for entertainment and lifestyle on a whole. That's my belief anyway.
Yeah, I mean, for me, Twitter's the best tool out there at the moment. You know, for
Mm,
making connections with people. You're just a tweet away from anyone potentially in the world. You
yeah.
know, and like you say, we just started chatting a bit online through Twitter and sharing some music and sharing some ideas, and now we're doing
Mhm.
a Google Plus Hangout, which is like the latest technology. So, what other technologies are you using at the moment? I know you've been using
Yeah.
SoundCloud. You're starting to use that a lot more.
My main thing is Twitter. I love Twitter
Mm,
because Twitter is, like you said, you're one tweet away from anybody. Like people want to ask me a question, I can gauge responses for music pretty quickly. You know what I mean? Like I love YouTube as well, but YouTube is a bit of a jungle. It's not very, it's very non-specific. There's so much on YouTube, whereas with Twitter, people can target exactly who they want to try and get at and get their message across a lot quicker. And the reason why I liked SoundCloud so much is because YouTube is not just like about music. YouTube is about everything. So you have like sitcoms on YouTube that are made by 16-year-old kids in their bedroom who are just happen to be really funny, and there's loads of different things that are not just music related on YouTube. Whereas for me, coming from a musical background, SoundCloud is probably something that I want to focus more energy on because it's specifically about the music, the structure of the music, what parts of a record that people like. You know what I mean? And when people are sharing it, it's not about the image, it's not about the video, how expensive your video looks, or you don't have to use any gimmicks. It's just the song. All you're looking at is a wave file and comments. So SoundCloud is definitely something I've been focusing on for the last 2 weeks or so. I've started to do a series on SoundCloud called Sway's Sunday Service, which basically, because my album is called The Deliverance, and a lot of people find the word deliverance synonymous with religion. Not to be blasphemous or anything, but I've kind of taken on that theme of like a say a preacher or a pastor, and every week I'm gonna have a session of where it's gonna be like my thought of the week, and then it's gonna be a song or a freestyle that's gonna correlate with that. So SoundCloud is important, but yeah, I try to use all forms of social media. You know,
great. So what's for anyone watching it and they want to hear your stuff? What's your SoundCloud username? What is it?
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud.com/.
yeah, sway with me. It's really
Cool.
simple. Sway with me. Yeah, I mean, it's
Cool.
all spelled properly, not WID or anything. Spelled properly. Yeah, I mean, sway with me. It's real simple. You can go on there. You can check my SoundCloud links, etc. And my Twitter is just at Sway UK. You know what I mean? And I would say I check at least, if I'm not following you, um, I check at least 65 to 70% of the ads. You know what I mean? So it's quite a high ratio of a chance that I will directly see your messages.
Yeah, because I've noticed that looking at your tweets again. That's one of the things I liked the most when I started following you, and how
Mhm.
supportive you are of other people as well, like new emerging
Yeah,
artists, and you're very
yeah,
very keen to promote them, and you're not just talking about yourself all the time. And I really like that. I really like the collaborative
yeah,
approach that you've got, and not just on Twitter, but also on your new EP that you've got coming out. From what I've
yeah.
seen and what I've heard of that, and the music that you've
Hmm.
got out as well, you're kind of showcasing some new emerging artists. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, about the EP that you've got coming out?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, Wake Up. Right now, Wake Up is like a project that I was doing in between the last single and releasing a new album. Now, in today's music climate, like singles are very important. You know what I mean? Artists are still selling albums, but the single market has grown like a ridiculous amount. And that's due to the fact that people are able to pick and choose what they want out of a record now. Like people can go on iTunes, whereas before you bought the single, but you bought the album for some of the other records. You couldn't pick. Now it's like if you like only 6 tracks on an album, you only need to buy those 6 tracks. You don't need to buy the other four. So albums are becoming less and less important, unfortunately, when it comes to the demographic of audience that I cater to. I'm not sure, but classical music is probably obviously different, but with in terms of pop culture and urban music, hip hop. Um, it's very singles driven at the moment, and
Mm.
I wanted to try and find the balance between giving people volume, but at the same time marketing a record like a single. So I still want to release an album very soon, but in before getting to the album, I wanted to get used to people hearing not one track at a time from Sway, but maybe 4 or 5 tracks. So I decided to turn my next single campaign, which is the single's called Wake Up, into an EP campaign. And now I wanted to use this EP as a vehicle to start introducing other elements of Sway. You know what I mean? Other things like, for example, I have a record on there with Tigger the Author. Now, Tigger the Author is an artist that is signed to a label that I co-founded called Decipher Productions. So we came across Tigger by accident. He was in a studio session, um, and I was just like speaking to him. It's like, what do you do? You keep popping up everywhere. I see you in different studios. What do you actually do? And he's like, I'm a singer, songwriter. And I'm like, well, I'm working on this record. It's a remake of Dr. Dre's Still Dre. If you're a singer, give the chorus a bash. And he's like literally like in the studio, like, really? I'm like, go for it. You know what I mean? So he went in the booth and he sung the chorus, and I was like, I love this. You know what I mean? I went back, mixed it, phoned up Kano, told Kano to jump on it. Next thing you know, we were shooting a video for it and putting it up as a viral. You know what I mean? And that was the introduction for me working with Tigger. And then off the back of that, I said to Tigger, can you send me more material? I'd like to see what kind of direction you're headed in. And he sent me a few records, one including a record called Power, which we just put out on
Yeah, I,
Vivo.
I love Power. I've told you before. I
Great
absolutely
record.
love that song. Yeah,
Yeah,
fantastic.
yeah. That was actually one of the first records I heard of Tigger. And he sent that to me, and I played it to my team. Everybody was blown away. We signed him straight away, and now we're developing him. Yeah, I mean, so he's on the EP. We also have a pretty big feature. It's not all the paperwork's not sealed, signed, sealed, and delivered yet. So I can't talk too much about it. I can tell you about it, but I don't know where this footage is gonna end up. So I don't want to get in any trouble.
Yeah, yeah. Don't get in trouble. Don't announce it now. You
Yeah,
can reveal it on Twitter or something near the time. Yeah.
yeah,
So
but we have a pretty massive feature on there, and it's not even about his name or her name. It's not even about their name. Like it's just about the fact that this person is so talented, and we've had a working relationship for a long period of time, and it's just so great to be able to collaborate with that person again. And also we have something this is pretty different. We have KSI, who's an incredible talent, man. He's like one of the most entertaining people you ever watch. He's a YouTube star, and the way I came across him is still speeding. When I was reading my video comments, this name kept coming up in the comments. It was like, Sway, love your record, KSI, KSI Army, KSI Army. So I was thinking, what the hell is a KSI Army? What the hell's going on here? Why are there so many comments on my video from KSI Army? Then I researched, went onto Twitter and found out KSI was a person. Then I realized that he had been using the Still Speeding as a sound bed for his top 5 goals that he does for the FIFA game,
oh
and
well.
that's why how
Well,
people were getting to hear the record. So I contacted him and I contacted him on a thank you, you know what I mean, like thanks for pushing it. I mean, since we've been like friends or talking to each other, his subscriber on YouTube have nearly reached 3 million. You know what I mean? It's
wow.
just astounding that, you know what I mean? Like he's grown so fast, and you can see why, because he's very consistent. Every week he posts new videos, all the time. They're funny, they're innovative, and he's got a desire to be a rapper as well. He likes rap, and he's done a few spoof kind of raps. And I was on the phone with him and his management team. I really enjoy your personality. I think that if we capture that on a record, it could be something pretty unique. And so we decided to do it. I decided to involve it into this EP. We called it No Sleep as the flip side, to kind of wake up. It was like a spin-off to Wake Up. No Sleep, and we just completed that record. I also put Tubes on it as well because I just think he's a right laugh and he's just a massive character. Me and Turkish produced it alongside with Andrew Muntambura, who's another guy who's kind of like under my wing, but on the publishing side. And it's just a record that we all having loads of fun with. I generally can't wait to hear the response. Like nobody's heard it from outside of the people I've worked with, but I genuinely like it's one of the. I can't wait to see what kind of response we get to that record because it's such a great energy, you know.
Yeah, well, I'm honoured and privileged that I've heard "Wake Up" and "No Sleep," and I think they're both amazing tracks. So I think you're going to do really well with that. I know you've already had "Wake Up" played on Radio 1 and One Extra so far. Yeah. So if that was that just last weekend?
Yeah, last week we're actually 4 days into the radio campaign and it's going it's going amazingly well, man. I couldn't have asked for a better platform in terms of like the record to be played for the first time on One Extra and then half an hour later Radio 1, both on the same night. That's always a great way to start a record campaign, you know what I mean? So I mean, like, you can't pay for that. The DJs have to genuinely be into what you're doing for that to happen, and so it's a great indication for the CP, you know.
Yeah. So you can hear the when Hugh Stevens played it, you can hear that on your SoundCloud page, can't you, at the moment?
Yeah.
But the track itself, when will that be available to buy or download? When can you get
that? Well, we're looking at the first week in October right now. Yeah, I mean we're kind of pushing it for time because we had there was a few paperwork things that we had to deal with. Obviously, we have a massive Isley Brothers sample in Wake Up, which we thought would be a nightmare to clear, but I mean, like the stars aligned, and it was just a case of getting pen to paper. You know what I mean? It wasn't no long grueling negotiation, and plus, you know, my publishing company, they're Bucks. I'm published by a company called Bucks and Talpa. They're pretty savvy, so they were able to get things done quickly.
Yeah, and it's a great sample as well. So well done for doing that, because it is a huge sample and a huge song. So
thank you.
Cool. Right. Well, Sway, thanks very much for doing the interview, and good luck with the campaign. And for anyone watching this, recommend that you follow Sway on Twitter at SwayUK and check out his SoundCloud page. Okay. Cheers, Sway. See you later. Bye. Cheers.
Next generation, new school, forget registration. Look for the platform that makes you move to the base, from the roof to the roof. If we're on your station, turn it up. Even if we're late, at least we're turning up. Now, what day is it? What date is it? I'm lost inside the music and I'm gonna crank it up, cause I'm tired of hearing all of that.